A very good weekend dugout awaits all of us because there is plenty of drama, plenty of emotion. We are still recovering from what transpired yesterday at Chepauk. I mean, it was built up to the Kaveri Derby, CSK bossing over RCB. It was all going to be one-way traffic. How can Chennai Super Kings lose at home? But no.
You must be very disappointed, na? CSK fan after all.
Check the post-match live, please. You
I
can
will
check that out.
You first answer me, na? You must be very disappointed.
Disappointed with the way how they abjectly surrendered. They abjectly surrendered because they didn't, it seemed as if they didn't want to win. In a chase of 197, how on earth could you have such a conservative approach?
Siddharth, but it was just 50 runs.
Yeah.
Just 50 runs.
The humble words of Ruturaj Gaikwad.
I know. This is Chennai Super Kings we are talking about, or any other franchise you are talking about. He just lost by 50 runs, isn't it? That is what makes this even more audacious. And Stephen Fleming, let me tell you, in all the 14 years that I have attended CSK post-match press conferences, I saw him lose his cool for the very first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Silly question.
Silly question. Over actually what was a legitimate question when you look at it. How can CSK perform in an IPL when the rest of the top orders are going gung-ho? Delhi Capitals when you look at it, SRH when you look at it, the LSG when you look
Delhi
at it.
Delhi were 3-2, don't count Delhi.
But no, Delhi at least they will have that intent. They'll go from ball one.
The lower order of Delhi showed the kind of intent you wanted CSK to show yesterday night.
Yes. Even if you're 3 for 2, look at how they bounced back. I mean, Tristan Stubbs led the way.
Yeah.
Where was Tristan Stubbs in the Chennai Super Kings lineup? A Deepak Hooda misfired. A Rahul Tripathi misfired. A Shivam Dubey under the guise of being protected played out of position and got a Sam Curran in who's not performed in the top for the last 3-4 years. But the major talking point. So today we'll be discussing two major things apart from the MIGT preview. The agenda today is, are Chennai Super Kings feeling the heat after this one big loss at Chepauk? It's not a minor loss, it's a big loss at Chepauk. And the criticism that is still dominating, MS Dhoni batting at number 9. That is the two agendas. Gentlemen, fans are absolutely lashing out at MS Dhoni, saying that, oh, but MS Dhoni has to play. Who is just straight, top of the head? Who is the backup keeper in Chennai Super Kings if you don't want to play an MS Dhoni?
Devon Conway. Vansh Bedi.
Why in place of MS Dhoni? I was saying because Devon Conway, anyways, all of us were unanimous on this that he should be in this playing 11, starting the as an opener over there. So if we are talking about like for like replacement for MS Dhoni, who can come lower down the order or in the middle order on given occasions, then there is just Vansh Bedi. And will you be wanting to play him so soon in the season? I don't think so. And I wouldn't be surprised if MS Dhoni does not even go the full season. I wouldn't be surprised if after all of this and the kind of condition this Chennai Super Kings is in, I think yesterday it would have definitely hit him that if on a hit the whole franchise, I would say that if required, MS Dhoni, like I said this yesterday as well, MS Dhoni's role is absolutely defined and I'm absolutely fine with that role being defined to him, and if he's coming for just the last 2-3 overs. But when you need an MS Dhoni up in the middle order, you need to get that X factor batter a little above than his regular batting position. If you have to give him more overs to bat, then if he's not able to do that, then he does not make the cut, because again T20 cricket, specifically IPL, is very high intensity and things keep on changing in every over, so you need to have that sort of a flexibility in your batting order, and also batters also should be having that. If for any reason, be it the knee injury or anything else also, if he's not able to do that, then on many occasions when the Chennai Super Kings have such challenges up against them, they will lag behind. You cannot be sending a Sam Curran and a Jadeja in the middle order to fire to play that fiery knock. And if MS Dhoni cannot come there, then I think he should be on the bench, according to me, because if he's not coming, if he can, then to any day, any team would want MS Dhoni. If MS Dhoni can come at number 5, 6 on certain occasions when the team requires, then any team would want him. But because he's not able to do it. And yesterday, I think it was very, very clear that whatever situation would be, he will not be able to come up top. So it's better that he sits out. And I wouldn't be surprised, very honestly, if we see this during this season itself.
That MS sits out.
That is
not happening.
Never happens.
That's not
I
happening,
wouldn't be
Shashwat.
surprised.
Unless he's like injured. He cannot
Yeah.
really just get up from his bed.
Even if he's injured, we heard it from the man himself that he is going to be batting even on a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I don't see a
What he meant
situation
was
where there's another wicketkeeper batter and MS is cheering for the team in the stands.
No, it's also
Or
about
from
what
the
the
dugout.
franchise wants. I think it's a two-way thing. MS Dhoni would definitely be inclined towards playing more, but I think the pressure in that sense would be from the franchise as well, because they haven't developed a hero. If we just a hypothetical
It can't be a
situation.
conversation. Again, this was a point that came up yesterday as well, and I know Raidu also said it, but this is something that Chennai have known, I think, for a while now. The time
Yes,
that
it's
you
their
needed a
fault.
mid-season change of captain, that was the clear indicator.
That
Just
was
an
the
example,
clarity.
if you take MS Dhoni out of the equation right now and you play with him for this season and the next season as well, do you feel that the fans will have that same sort
I
of
can
connect
say the
with
same
Chennai
for another
Super Kings?
couple of franchises which
No,
will
but
lose their
then-
identity once
No.
a player or two retire.
But over there, the thing is that they still have time for that transition, and eventually that transition can happen. Like with RCB, there is a Virat Kohli right now. They will have time to pass the baton on to a Rajat Patidar and have
I
that
think
identity.
that's
of
where the
himself.
challenge is, and that's where it'll be interesting to see how IPL teams evolve going forward. You see this with football quite a lot. There are celebrated players at all times in football clubs, but in IPL, what we're seeing right now is going to be or the second time, I would say. The only legendary player I remember like that who was probably deemed as big as the league was probably a Sachin Tendulkar when you thought of the competition. But the league has moved on after that as well, and Mumbai Indians ensured that they found their next hero in Rohit Sharma.
And now in Hardik
There was briefly though Ricky Ponting. So that's how the baton got transferred, remember? So it is, I think the teams are also still in that state, but I don't see us, where in football where things are far more smooth at times, because who these X factor players, who those players who are going to be, in the reckoning going forward as well. But with IPL, I think you're too consumed by the stardom of one player that you fail to focus on the others. And I feel besides Mumbai Indians, I don't see many franchises in this model of retentions and releasing players that you've been able to develop that kind of a player who can act as a backup or a successor. I think that's the problem, and I don't see teams, I can say for Rajasthan, for example, in Riyan Parag, it is very clear that their succession plan is Riyan Parag. But can you say who's going to be the successor for Shubman Gill at the Gujarat Titans? What happens to their identity?
They have already started the transition with Shubman Gill last season.
After Shubman Gill. So this is where IPL teams, because of this whole retention and releasing thing, will fail to establish identity at times of or establish succession plans.
No, I think Mumbai Indians were very successful in doing that. It did it from a Sachin to a Ricky Ponting to a Rohit Sharma and now to a Hardik Pandya.
And
that's
I
how
would say
cricket
even a Tilak is now in line.
Yeah, in line. That's again, that's 5-7 years down the line from Hardik Pandya. You would want to succeed.
5
That
years,
will take quite a few years now, and I think that happens in Indian cricket as well. But the game never stops. Some heroes definitely emerge. Now it's down to like with Indian cricket, it's down to Indian cricket how you're grooming and making the next generation ready. That is down to the franchises over here, like Mumbai Indians has done. Even I would give that credit to Royal Challengers Bengaluru also. Virat still has minimum 3-4 years with the franchise as a player at least, and that is sufficient time to let Rajat Patidar make himself an identity who the Royal Challengers Bengaluru fan base can connect with. The Chennai Super Kings, on the other hand, firstly do not have that time left anymore, because MS Dhoni, you don't know for how many more games or seasons to the maximum can he play, and plus they have not let anybody else, and that also is not right on the part of the players, that no other player has also been able to make that identity. Now that's both ways, wrong on part of the player and majority is wrongly done by the franchise.
But can I tell you, Rajat Patidar, while you mentioned him in that list, I don't think Rajat Patidar, anyone in this room or anywhere else was sure that he'd be the captain captain, so he was never part of the succession plan.
Correct.
Many people had touted the Virat Kohli to return as the captain. So let's be honest about it. The succession plan was never clear, and most teams don't have a succession plan unless you're Mumbai Indians. They're the exception for me, and to an extent, Rajasthan Royals, who've done well over the years to have a core. There's a Yashasvi Jaiswal who parts of form the core. There is a Sanju Samson who's a part of the core. Now there's a Riyan Parag, and there is a Dhruv Jurel as well. Because these are players who were uncapped players, got the national call up, and got retained. So that's why I say that they're the nucleus. Was the same story for a Rajat Patidar? Absolutely not.
No. It's about, for one thing is having a great nucleus that is being connected with the fan base, and you have a core about that.
And that's how
that's
the relatability comes in.
That's
I want to be
the
seeing
second step.
I want to be
First,
seeing the player year after year after year.
But that's the second step, I feel. First step is at least have one player who everybody is connecting to, that's still the second phase, and I think Mumbai Indians has done that they are working on their second stage now. With teams like RCB and Chennai Super Kings, even the first stage isn't done, where just one player, at least one player, is able to connect with everybody. Like with Mumbai, like with Bengaluru, there is Virat Kohli. With Chennai, there is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. The only advantage RCB has over Chennai Super Kings right now is that they have 3-4 years with Virat Kohli where somebody else can make themselves identified by the crowd. Rajat Patidar has an opportunity. Now, if he's not able to do that, I think that will be wrong on his part. He's been given that captaincy role. He, in the next 3 to 4 years, by the time Virat Kohli says goodbye to the IPL for good, till then he can become that player who the Bengaluru crowd fills the stadiums for, like they do for Virat Kohli. But with Chennai Super Kings, the problem is that they do not have that time. There, Virat Kohli will be staying for 3-4 years more. Here, MS Dhoni won't be. And there is nobody else who will be able to connect with the fans. And that's why I think the franchise doesn't want to let go of an MS Dhoni, because there's nobody else who will get in the crowd for Chennai Super Kings. And you never know, will Chennai even be that team with that sort of a fan base and that sort of a legacy? If MS Dhoni goes, then that won't be the case. So it's wrong.
But if I'm CSK, my question is, it's the second full season now for Ruturaj Gaikwad?
Yes, 2024.
Second full season?
Yeah, second full season.
Yeah, you can say. I mean, this is just the start of the season. We don't know what will
so
happen.
I'm saying, and MS is playing for me this year.
Yeah.
So why, if I'm talking about transition, I've had a player that I've retained, etc., who spent enough time around Dhoni and started opening, etc. I've backed him to the hilt. I've given him the captain's armband as well, and I've given him 2 seasons while Dhoni is around. Yeah. What more can I do as a franchise? Do I get hoardings done for a player? Do I ask
That's why I'm saying it's wrongly done on the part of the franchise as well.
That's my question. Yeah. I want to know from you guys, what else can I do? I've ensured that it's not like a MS Dhoni has gone from the scene and then I depute a new captain. I've ensured that a young captain who's made his debut for India over the last couple of years, who's in the reckoning in the opening positions, and I've ensured that he gets the experience of Mahendra Singh Dhoni and he gets groomed as a captain. What else do I do as a franchise? I can't force the crowd to be liking a certain player, right? And as long as MS Dhoni is around, every other player in the team is going to be under the shadows of MS Dhoni. What else do we do?
See, MS Dhoni is like this obsessive parent.
But that's not his
it is. I'll tell you why.
Yeah. I don't think it's just down to him.
It is. Everything in CSK, you look at the history of it, has been only on MS Dhoni.
So yesterday's loss is on Dhoni more than the captain.
Captain is also reliant on MS Dhoni when you look at it. He's more than reliant on him for many things.
He has been made to be reliant on MS Dhoni. There's a difference there.
There is a difference. Because look, I'll tell you, MS Dhoni is like this obsessive parent who's like, okay, यार अब मैं बड़ा हो गया हूँ, let me go on my own, let me try something. Wait, I'll tell you why. There is a trend that has happened ever since 2022. Not all CSK fans will get it, but that's the trend. I want to have certain aspirations, but because you have built such a big legacy for yourself, if I try to do something different, if I try to just go against your input, I might be sidelined. I don't know. Dhoni still calls the shots. Could Ruturaj Gaikwad have told him, no boss, you come at number 7?
I don't see that's the problem. Yeah, in that regard, but not on the field where you expect the captain. I don't agree with that.
Basically, need a larger than life figure to tell MS Dhoni that, boss, we need you in the middle order, not at number 9.
But who
I
can
think
be that? Can it be
there
the
is
captain?
nobody.
It must be the captain, I believe.
It either has to be the captain or it has to be the coach, but unfortunately both of them are not here. But I think coming back to the question that Siddharth has obviously posed at the beginning of this dugout, that are CSK really feeling the heat after this loss against RCB here? I think it's not really down to the defeat that CSK have had, a 50-run defeat or an only 50-run defeat, as Ruturaj Gaikwad has put. I think it's the manner of that particular defeat you're talking.
Yes.
You talk about this, 11 here, Rachin Ravindra Tripathi, Deepak Hooda, if not the best, or maybe not one of the best, but this is still a very effective T20 lineup for any franchise team. Overall, it's the way I think they went about their work in the first 10 to 12 odd overs that clearly made sure that this is turning out to be RCB's game. And Dhoni coming in at number 9, I think it just worsened things for CSK here. So it's not the defeat here, it's the manner of the defeat. And if we talk about, should MS Dhoni really be something that I think Shashwat, I think has also probably said that, he might just be dropped, midway during the season. I don't think that's really happening. But I think I'll put it maybe in a way that's very easy to understand. You either die as a hero or you live long enough to see yourself as a villain. I think that's the quote, na?
Yeah.
I think that basically seals the deal for me.
I think there are three things to you and to Gulati sir as well. Firstly, I think we talked about this yesterday as well, that this batting order does not nowhere with whichever team would have this batting lineup will be the weakest batting lineup in the whole
This
tournament.
CSK?
Yeah, this CSK. We talked about this
The
yesterday.
batting till 9?
No, but Deepak Hooda, Sam Curran, Rahul Tripathi, these aren't the batters you can rely on. We talked about this in the post-match yesterday as well, that Deepak Hooda, who his best years are past him, Sam Curran is very iffy with his batting. Rahul Tripathi, we have seen what he's been doing since a couple of years now. So the batting order anyways is a problem. But when you have an MS Dhoni and if you're not able to use him because of whatever reasons, either use him up top. If you're not able to use him, then it's better that you try to move ahead. But the only thing over here is, which I don't agree with Sidvi sir here, is that I don't think that, see, if that problem, that being a possessive parent, all of these things were a trait with MS Dhoni, then I don't think that transition, how smoothly it happened in the Indian cricket team, that would not have been the case over there as well. So over here, I don't think that's the problem. When it came down to Jadeja, I think one small thing that really mattered over there as well was that Jadeja used to be in the outfield and MS used to be behind the stumps, and we have seen keepers take many calls. So that's how it came out as well. Now I don't know how it went down with Jadeja or whatever. But over here with Ruturaj Gaikwad, I think he is making those calls. As far as the batting position is concerned, I think this would be a common consensus between all the decision makers in that franchise that he cannot be batting above that
Up the order
because of the injury, whatever reason may it be, but still he has to play. Now the problem over there is with the franchise, that the franchise is not ready to let go of an MS Dhoni, because they know that as soon as he goes, there's a very high possibility that the franchisee's legacy comes crushing down.
See, but if you rely upon legacy, okay, there is a big problem in that. Which is why the follow-up question was, is MS Dhoni hurting his legacy by what has happened in 2024 and what is happening in 2025?
Don't you think that there is a straightforward answer to this question?
I don't know. What do you define hurting a legacy? If suppose CSK make it to the playoffs,
I just put it in a quote that was easy to understand. You either die as a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become
here we don't know what are the lines of a hero and a villain. We don't know.
A hero is someone who has basically won CSK 5 IPL titles, not alone but with a team.
Now CSK last won in 2023. Okay, he was the captain. But CSK have not done well without MS Dhoni, the captain also.
So that my point here is that if MS Dhoni continues in similar fashion in IPL 2024, there are a few more situations wherein he is batting at number 8 and number 9 and the game is lost. Similar thing happens in IPL 2026. I won't be surprised if the same fans who are basically rooting for him now are going to turn on him.
That is the given. That is an absolute given. They will always go against when you feel, oh, our hero is not performing. It's very convenient for them to flip. That will always happen.
No, but you need to have more instances for that to happen. No?
It is happening. See, it happened in 2024. When was the last time MS Dhoni won you a game? Mumbai Indians 2022.
Correct.
With the bat.
Yeah, I was coming to that only. Yeah.
Last time he won you with the bat in the death when he was swinging and getting those runs, Mumbai Indians had Brabon. But we all know after that what happened. 2024, his stats were glossed over by the fact, oh, he's got a 200 average strike rate. He's at 13 sixes in 20th over and all that. But did CSK win most of the games? You didn't reach the playoffs. Here, if the franchisee cannot take a decision on MS Dhoni, then it only signifies one major thing. He is the franchisee.
The way I look at this is even the year that they won, it's been said for 2 to 3 seasons now. 23, 24 and now 25 as well. Even, I would say to an extent in 22, it used to be said that CSK are playing with 10 players and a captain. Yeah. Correct me? That was the narrative around the franchise.
Yes.
They lived by it. They went down with that narrative as well. In 22 as well, 23, they ended up winning as well. 21 also that they had won, and things looked hunky-dory because Dhoni was the man in charge. So even if returns with the bat were diminishing, and we weren't talking about his batting position was more or less 5-6. 6 on most days, 6-7. But yesterday was 9, which was, I think you'll have to dug up the archives for this. Maybe it was the first time he would have batted as low as number 9 in his IPL career. But point being, the question was never about his batting position. The question was, rather the scenario was that CSK are winning. Everything's looking good for the franchise. MS Dhoni, even though the returns with the bat are diminishing, but he's getting the job done with the 10 around him. You had a Tushar Deshpande and all of these guys in 23, and you still won the IPL with that inexperienced side. So no questions asked on MS, the batter. Because MS, the captain, was doing enough that the franchise was doing better than the other 9 franchises in the league. Now though, when he's not, as we think is the case now, he's not calling the shots anymore, barring the one fact that is his own batting position. That I still believe is his call and not the management's or the captain's wish. That is MS's own call, is what I have a gut feel about. Now, in this scenario where MS is no longer taking the shots on the field, and when MS doesn't do that, the team can be found wanting at times, because MS with his brain has become this successful.
He's basically more.
He's that supercomputer. Yeah. He's a cheat code when with his inputs on the field. So if he's not doing that for me, if as a batter he's not available, then I need to start asking questions.
See,
what if the franchise is okay with that? What if he is, before the IPL starting, has conveyed it to the franchise that this is my condition, and I think if we know that this is this condition, and then I'm pretty sure that the franchise and the decision makers would be aware of this even more than what we know. And I wouldn't be surprised that if the franchise is okay with this, I cannot believe this, that Dhoni is forcing himself in the playing 11 that I will bat over here, and the franchise doesn't want him to bat over there. They are ready to go the other way.
See, he wants to play. We know one thing, Sarshwat, we don't see him do anything the whole year. Otherwise, he's attending events and all, and that's it. Cricketing wise, in terms of
he's only got the IPL for 2 months.
In terms of cricketing activity, this is all that he does. So he is he's more than he wants, if there's one time of the year that he wants to play cricket, it is this. So I'm pretty sure that if he makes himself available for a 2-month window, in fact I would make that 3, because he starts to train a month or 2 before that. He's regular with his workouts. We know he calls in the local boys in Jharkhand and he starts to prepare with them, and if he's doing all of that, he will definitely be playing. There's no question about it.
No, I understand that, but I cannot believe this, that the franchise is not okay with him batting over there, and they still have to because it is MS Dhoni.
No,
I'm not ready to believe
Shashwat,
that.
the point here is that, and that's what even I asked, at that particular point when Harshit also said one thing, that is there anyone in the CSK dressing room or the management or in any of their relevant stakeholder staff that can actually go up to MS Dhoni and say that, boss, your role at number 9 is not really turning out to be good for the CSK?
Do you think that conversation would not have been taken? See, again,
no, it's not.
I cannot. No. There is an MS Dhoni in the batting lineup, and if he categorically says that I cannot bat more than 20 overs, now you take the call. Even then, the franchise,
more than 20 balls.
Yeah, it's not about the number. I think it's about how many balls are remaining. That's why we have seen him come and bat at number 6, 7, and yesterday, because there were too many balls left, that's why it was 9. So I think with MS Dhoni, it's more about how many balls Mirza left because he can't run or the knee issue, whatever that is. I cannot believe that this was such a big open secret. Everybody on the outside knows about it, but nobody has gone and talked to him about it, or he has not mentioned it. That is not possible in a franchise where the owners and the captain and Stephen Fleming share such a close bond. They have been together for all the 18 years. 2 years when Chennai wasn't there, Stephen Fleming was there with MS Dhoni at the Rising Pune Super Giants as well. So I cannot believe this, that it isn't a mutual understanding. It's just one-way traffic. That is no, I'm not ready to.
I think if we really have to go by what Shashwat is saying, then it is clearly the fault of Chennai Super Kings, the management. If that is the case.
No, I cannot believe you also know 18 years if you've been associated with one franchise, you've never been so emotional. You've cried for that franchise on the stage when that franchise was about to come. This thing would not have been talked about. I cannot believe it. And if MS Dhoni is forcing himself on Chennai Super Kings, that is also something I cannot believe. I think it's coming. It's both ways. It's a mutual understanding. And Chennai Super Kings is not ready to go past an MS Dhoni because firstly you have won tournaments with MS Dhoni putting in just this much effort and just this much batting all throughout the tournament. You've still gone and won, and you know that as soon as you take out MS Dhoni from this equation, this Chennai Super Kings will have a very different fan base. This Chennai Super Kings will have a very different legacy. So even the franchise in that sense will not be ready to let go of an MS Dhoni, no matter if he's batting in 9, 10 or 11.
Shashwat, the only thing that, to what you have said is that if there is a mutual understanding that a cricketer is saying that he cannot bat more than 20-25 odd deliveries, and the CSK management is saying, we are fine with it. I'm telling you one thing is for sure, that if it is a mutual thing, this 50-run loss could very well be the reason that CSK don't qualify for the playoffs. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be the NRR that's going to be
I think you will, whether they want to move into the playoffs or not will depend on how persistent they want to be with this approach. The world has called it out. There was, I think, an Irfan Pathan as well who said that, he's a friend of ours. He's very much a friend of ours and we speak with him, but this is startling.
Yeah.
Virender Sehwag also took, yes, Robin Uthappa also said, so the world
that no sense at all.
No sense at all.
See, it's frankly it's a difficult thing to swallow at this point in time about MS Dhoni. What is his role in the CSK lineup? As I've always maintained from day one, MS Dhoni is CSK. No one in the franchisee will tell him that what you have to do. He's his own man. Now, Chennai Super Kings missed a golden chance at transition. The pain that you're feeling now, you could have had that pain in 2022, you could have been prepared for it in 2023 and 2024. But then you fell back. It is like this panic thing. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. What is my future? Suddenly, short-term darkness, I want just one matchstick. That one matchstick light is MS Dhoni. You stalled transition. You pushed it back by 2-3 years more. And now you're going to see the after effects of it. Nobody in the franchisee tells MS Dhoni what to do. Let's make one thing clear here. He calls the shots.
Yeah, that I totally agree with.
So the management has got no role.
No. But
Kasi Vishwanathan, Stephen Fleming and all the stakeholders who are there don't tell MS Dhoni what to do. He tells them what needs to be done.
We often go back to the interview where we say that MS Dhoni said that I'll bat for them even when I'm on a wheelchair. The operative words that we often miss out over there is that even if I'm on a wheelchair, they will make sure that I play on a wheelchair. So if I'm not ready to believe that, see, I feel that MS Dhoni would have talked about a situation. He would have said that I think it's time we call it quits. But the Chennai Super Kings franchisee knows that as soon as MS Dhoni is not in this equation, everything will change for Chennai Super Kings for good. And that is the fault of the franchise and MS Dhoni as well. Both they did not have a transition time. They did not have a smooth transition. Now when it's in front of them, now they don't have any option to go and they have to keep
I will never put, I'll never blame the player. Because a player gets empowered only as much as the franchise wants to empower the player.
Yeah.
They're the ones who've invested the money. They're the ones who got control over the franchise. Simple as that. MS Dhoni was picked by the CSK.
Yeah.
MS Dhoni didn't pick CSK. Right?
CSK
That's not how it happened.
Yeah.
So, in global sport, if you feel I'm of the firm belief that no entity, no single entity, no big player or no star player becomes bigger than the entity itself.
Yeah.
You don't outgrow. Yes, you can be successful. Yes, you can go all around the park. You can go all around the world, win whatever laurels that you have to win. You can send the ball to different areas. You can do things that nobody else can do behind the stumps. But that doesn't mean that you become bigger than the franchise. Nobody can. Nobody. It is just not possible in sport, is what I feel. Individual brilliance is one, but you don't become bigger than the franchise. So I think in all of this, if MS Dhoni is even taking these calls right now, then I blame the management. I don't blame the player.
Lack of, that is.
I don't blame the player at all, because it's the management that allowed him to take those decisions. Yes, you believe in MS Dhoni, you believe in his processes, even with an inexperienced side or even with a very old side in 2018 as we saw.
Yeah.
He can win either ways is what he showed the world. Whether he has the resources or he doesn't. Mahendra Singh Dhoni has never bickered about resources. We've seen captains know, this is what I want, this is what I want. If I don't get this, don't tell me if the results don't go well. But that's not Mahendra Singh Dhoni. That's not how he's made it to the playoffs the most times, the finals the most time as the captain. He said, okay, I have these resources, I'll deliver. And that's where the respect for MS Dhoni comes. But that doesn't mean when I'm looking forward as a franchise, I let him take all. When, especially he's not the captain. And you can't say that MS Dhoni is bigger than the Chennai Super Kings, and MS Dhoni will retire after a point. And you need these fans. How you communicate to the fans is for the franchise to decide. But there can't be this feeling that MS Dhoni is controlling us. There can't be. MS Dhoni, we would love him to be part of the system, just as a Fleming has been. A player turned into an ambassador of the game and turned into a mentor for the team, then turned into a coach as well. Something that you see with Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar. Association with the Mumbai
Rahul
franchise
Dravid for that matter.
has always been there.
Yeah.
Or Rahul Dravid for that
Rajasthan Royals,
matter. So you want that kind of a role for Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But you can't say that till the time he is on the pitch, we will allow him to outshine us as an entity. It can't happen.
And he will decide where he bats. I don't think that's even the case. If that would have been the case, we would have had shades of this earlier as well. I think the Chennai Super Kings as a franchise as well was just delaying the process of transition, where other franchises did it on time, and now it's just in front of them, where they know that it's now time and they have no backup plan, and it's all down to the franchise and the player as well, maybe to an extent, I would say, because I feel that time when Jadeja was going to take over, that would have been the perfect transition plan, where a Jadeja came in with not that sort of a stature, and not that sort of a reputation, but he was somebody who was associated with the franchise. The people of Chennai associated with him, felt a connect with him. So that was the best time. Maybe over there it could have been done even better, but once that wasn't done, they had no other plan B. And now when it's in front of them, they do not know what to do about it, and they would want an MS Dhoni to stay for as much long as possible. And even if MS Dhoni does not want to be, I feel it's.
I think we've swayed from the question, right, where we all began. I think the starting point was, yes, this has become a conversation about MS Dhoni.
No, I think this
but
was also,
yeah,
This was also there.
This was this was
CSK
also
feeling the heat, Dhoni's criticism justified.
But yeah, coming back to the bigger thing, you know, they're still left with 12 games. We've read enough that has been said on social media and as has been reported as well. What have we made of this abject surrender, as many are calling it? Just before we move forward, how many of us had CSK in the top 4? You didn't. Neither did I. But are you willing to reconsider that, or you still think that there's
Too early.
No,
there's
too early.
time?
I'm not reconsidering it at all. I still feel CSK are good enough to qualify for playoffs.
See, the
In
problem
fact, good
with-
enough to even seal one of the top 2 spots.
Okay.
Oh, okay. But then see, what I think is, they don't have
But
much
not
of a
with this approach, or even with this
No,
approach?
they'll have to change a few things, obviously.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Okay.
You see,
That's
the
something that even I have mentioned.
The problem is they don't have that much of a turnaround. Today they are going to Guwahati. Tomorrow is the game against Rajasthan Royals.
No, but that's
But that happens
but
always.
again,
huh?
see-
that's with all the friends. That's how the scheduling is.
Yeah.
But again, see, you come off a 50-run loss at home, which is your worst ever. They are not in the right mental space. So that's why
Is it going to be a scenario where, like we saw in the T20 World Cup, where a couple of teams were complaining about the
No, I
scheduling?
mean, see,
I don't think you will see that.
I'm
from
looking
CSK.
at the mental space when you look at, okay, we have had a loss. Rajasthan Royals also have had 2 losses. They'll
But
be determined
that
to
is
come.
basically, that could go in CSK's advantage here, because now they're going to face off a team who are actually low on confidence.
See, they have won only 1 out of their 9 games, Rajasthan Royals.
And
Last-
don't have a good record at Guwahati.
Yeah, they don't have a good record there at all. But then Chennai Super Kings, on the other hand, they will want to bounce back. But you all know that somewhere down the line, there is a CSK slump. That's always there. Even in their title winning runs, except 2011, there was a slump of 4-5 games, which cost them in a big way. And they had to huff and puff their way. Maybe that slump has started now. Because against Mumbai also, they were very scratchy. That's why that question that was posed to Stephen Fleming, I don't know why he lost his cool. It was a legitimate question.
True, not a silly question at all.
Rahul Tripathi, Deepak Hooda are well past their prime. If this was 2022 and they were in Chennai Super Kings, I would say, oh yeah, it's a silly question here after 2 games.
You know why I didn't put them in my top 4? The reason was precisely that I felt that not 1, not 2, but actually 3 to 4 batters would have had, and these are batters in their top 6. You mentioned about Rahul Tripathi, then there's
Deepak Hooda.
Then there's Deepak Hooda as well. If they turn to a Vijay Shankar, who's also there on the bench as a replacement for one of these guys, then these guys need to be batting out of their skins.
Yeah.
And each and every game.
Yeah, and I was looking at the numbers as well. I don't recall all 3 numbers or numbers for all 3 of them, but the numbers were very uninspiring.
The best scenario for them is that get in a Conway in place of Sam Curran, and in place of Sam Curran get in a Vijay Shankar.
Yes,
So that
because
is just-
it
That's
compensates.
still a good
Yes.
thing that what
That's the
Shashwat
only
is
thing.
saying.
But
That
with-
makes sense actually.
No, but with that also, I don't see with a batting lineup where you have Rahul Tripathi, Vijay Shankar, and who else do they have? Deepak Hooda. With this batting order, you cannot. Only an MS Dhoni team can only make it. With
Yeah,
this
Shivam, let's
batting
just go
order
up
to the-
CSK bowling.
You don't have a backup keeper. There's a Vansh
Spence.
Bedi. There's a Vansh Bedi, okay? But apart from that, who else?
Nobody else.
Conway, again, his form is patchy. If you look at his Champions Trophy numbers and we look at the things prior to that, he has been very patchy. So I don't think they have the confidence in Devon Conway.
That's one of the major reasons why Will Young was persisted with ahead of Devon Conway
Yes,
in
in the Champions Trophy.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So that's why Rachin will be there and I think Rituraj will be there. That means your number 3 and 1 are sorted, but 2, 4, it's not looking good. So that is why I will take a call only when they've finished half of their games.
Or maybe
Whether I'll have to
another
change.
3 games at least for me.
For me, half,
Yeah.
7.
I didn't have them because of the batting lineup, and that's what I'm going
But
to stick
panic
to.
stations, would you feel after a 50-run defeat?
It's a big wake-up call.
Yeah,
Wake up
absolutely.
call,
it
yeah,
is.
it is definitely.
It isn't
a wake-up
panic, but
call.
it is a wake-up call.
But that's what Chennai Super Kings does. They always have limited resources. It's just about how they utilize their resources. So moving ahead, I wouldn't be even surprised if they make it to the playoffs. But as per cricketing logic and as per just going with teams on paper, I don't think they'd have a chance anywhere close to even having a chance with this batting order, where you have batting orders like Travis Head, Abhishek Sharma, Jake FM, KL Rahul, Faf du Plessis. Then you
You
have
mentioned KL Rahul in one name.
and
I'm
then you
stunned.
then you have Rohit Sharma and the Mumbai Indians middle order, basically Hardik, Tilak and all these people. In that, there's no competition with this batting lineup where Deepak Hooda has nowhere to be seen since 2 years. Rahul Tripathi, same thing. Sam Curran, very hot and cold with the bat. Ball, we know he goes for runs. Bowling is still nice, but batting does not inspire any confidence. They can only do it because they have an MS Dhoni and because of the way he utilizes his resources. That is also because of that, but otherwise there is no chance.
You mean Rituraj utilizes the resources, right?
I think if Dhoni is chipping in as well, I don't think there's any problem with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you're reading too much into what you saw yesterday. Yeah,
That every
yeah. I think those are just healthy inputs and those are welcome inputs. Yeah,
Abhishek Purell also does.
But then see,
Yeah.
the scars of 2022 are quite deep.
I take that. I take that. It wasn't good on the franchise to do what they did.
Because after 2022, has Jadeja expressed the word leadership even once? No. It's been killed off. That game in Pune killed off Jadeja's aspirations of being a leader. It killed it off. And the way how MS Dhoni later on said it, I can't be spoon feeding people.
No, that he said for all those wides and all that they were bowling as well. at that time.
But 2022 also.
he said that.
He said that. That was when I realized, no.
Yeah.
There is a certain amount of control that he exerts.
I think he lost his cool twice that season. One was when they'd given away 16 runs in extras.
Extras, yeah.
That season he also said that youngsters don't have the spark, and then Rituraj scored 3 half set.
That was 2020.
Oh yeah.
2020, in the COVID season that was there. So yeah, it's not panic stations, but it's a big wake-up call. But if that derby was very one-sided, I don't know what about this derby which is going to happen. Mumbai Indians versus Gujarat Titans.
Both teams lost their opening matches.
So far, if you look at it, all the teams have lost at home already. When you looked at home dominance, this is a season where there's going to be no home dominance because you've got only 3 more venues where you've not played games.
RCB haven't played at home yet.
Mumbai haven't.
Mumbai haven't.
Punjab haven't.
Delhi played at the second home.
Yeah, but again, we know
and they
Delhi
won.
Capitals. But again, they are the only team who have not lost at home this time around. But tomorrow, we don't know. DC versus SRH, we don't know how that is going to pan out.
Last game in Vizag, I guess.
Last game.
Yeah. Thank God for that.
All teams will play only 2 away from home games.
So that's basically going to be last game at Guwahati also tomorrow.
No, but Punjab is playing at Dharamshala.
Dharamshala,
Yeah,
2
they are
games.
playing,
Yeah, so that's
Mullapur
why
and,
Mullapur and Dharamshala, that's where they're going to play. Vizag is Delhi Capitals, and Barsapara, the last game will be on March 30th. So, yep. Mumbai versus Gujarat Titans. I mean, 2 teams that have come off losses. GT lost to Punjab Kings by a significant margin. MI took CSK close, but it wasn't meant to be for them. Opening game not won since 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Can Mumbai Indians get off the mark today, or will there be more pain for them in Gujarat? Because you're going to the same venue where all the troubles for Mumbai Indians began in 2024.
I think both teams really have something to think about as far as their playing 11 is concerned. We had talked about Mumbai Indians also, whether it makes sense to have Jacks at 3, Tilak Verma batting at 5. Hardik Pandya is obviously going to make a comeback today. Then you have Gujarat Titans, whose middle order does look a little shaky. I think these are the calls that I would really be very interested to see, at the toss as to what both the captains say. But if any of the team that gets their middle order right, I think they might just be on the winning end today.
Yep. What do you think? Who holds the edge in the MI versus GT encounter?
I think Gujarat, I think I'll be backing the Gujarat Titans today. And the reason for that is that their batting looked much better than Mumbai Indians. On paper, the case is very different. On paper, Mumbai Indians has a much better middle order, but the top order of Mumbai Indians does not inspire confidence. You cannot be banking on Ryan Rickelton and Will Jacks and Rohit Sharma, who's not been in great form since a very long time now, specifically in the IPL. You cannot be banking on them and thinking that the middle order will do majority of the job. Hardik Pandya will return today. I think that will be a very big boost for them as well, as a captain also and as a player as well. But Gujarat Titans, a brand of cricket they played last time around, I think they do inspire confidence.
But where did they finish last year?
No. Last match game, And just
although Jacks hit 100 against GT, although a different franchise.
One change that they need to do will be obviously in place of Rutherford, they will have to go with Glenn Phillips. But apart from that, I think it's Gujarat Titans. Also, their bowling lineup, Rashid Khan is not going to have another bad day. We saw Sai Kishore bowling also, better spinners in that sense. Vignesh Puthur, we have seen just one game of him, but otherwise they have better spinners, better fast bowlers.
Got the googly as well.
Yes, Vignesh has got a very good thing. Yep.
Yeah, so and I am really looking forward to see Hardik Pandya the captain this time.
I believe otherwise. I think Mumbai Indians for me start with a bit of an edge over here. Okay. These are again the conditions that Mumbai would like. They like most of their batters. You look at the big hitters that they have, somebody like a Rohit Sharma, you give him such conditions. Tilak Verma, though he has the ability to adjust, but Surya Kumar Yadav absolutely loves batting on such kind of decks, as do some of the other players, be it a Jacks or a Rickelton. I think Jacks is going to be the one to start, and he showed last year that once he gets going, he can score a lot of runs, as we saw him with RCB last year. And once he was gone, they struggled a big time after that. So I think these are the kind of conditions when I look man to man. For some reason, that Deepak Chahar, Trent Bolt combination gives me a lot of hope. These may not be the ideal conditions for the two of them, and they would be, itching to go over to 1K day and have a crack at the batting lineups over there with that little bit of breeze blowing. But I think the experience that the two as a unit come in with, plus the enigma or the little bit of mystery surrounding Vignesh, I am excited to see the Mumbai Indians play. And GT, I go back to our analysis as well. I wasn't quite impressed with the squad that they've assembled so far, and in that first match as well. I haven't seen. Yes, there were a bit of sparks over there, but for me in this match, flat conditions. I think Mumbai starters is favourites.
You know, it's a tough one for me. I mean, because they have my favorite A.B. Tewatia there, GT. A.B. Tewatia always has been a legend for the Gujarat Titans. They have even Rachin's twin, Ravi Srinivas Sai Kishore. But Hardik Pandya, see, for all the troubles that he had in 2024, I wish that he gets off to a good start in this. So I'm actually wondering who should I back in this, because there are obvious weaknesses in this bowling lineup. I think it's the battle of the two weakest pace bowling lineups when you have to look at it.
Despite having some renowned
names, but again, Trent Bolt hasn't played much, and that's why
Deepak Chahar
also.
Gerald Koji didn't start with him last time. Gerald Koji didn't play the last.
He's although fit, but I think you can probably play only one of Kagiso Rabada or Gerald Koji. That's also
but I think Katsia a slightly better T20 bowler than Kagiso.
No.
Kagiso had one good season 2019 and 20. That's it.
Yeah, he's been expensive. I think
5 years he's not done well.
I think
Kagiso Rabada
is
the thing is, look at Rabada's numbers and he's been expensive.
He's a brilliant test bowler, good ODI bowler.
a wicket taker, but he has been expensive.
In T20s, he's not shown
Can
his
we have a
mettle
look?
for
I
5
think
years.
his overall numbers, when you look at his economy, is in excess of 9.
9. Kagiso,
In the IPL. Let's just have a look at his IPL numbers. Kagiso Rabada.
Kagiso
I
Rabada.
think, you said?
So for me, just because Hardik Pandya is coming and I want him to ensure that he gets off to a good start, I think I'll back Mumbai this.
So you said Mumbai Indians, Harshit. You said GT. You said Mumbai.
I said Mumbai.
Rabada.
Mumbai. Okay, I expect GT to seal their first win and for MI to maybe have their second loss in
2 out of 2.
Yeah, I think GT was still okay with the bat in the first match. I think more than okay for that matter. But just one change for me, Glenn Phillips coming in for Sheffield Rutherford.
Superman coming in at this stage, yep. So go down, that's the batting numbers. Yeah, bowling, 8.5 overall economy rate.
Just about 9 as I was saying.
See,
And
wickets have been good.
See, but 2023, 2022, look at it, 8.4, 10.09, 8.8. It's never been south of 8. Even when he had that awesome season of 2020 and 2019, just go down one notch. I want to see 2019. See, 2019,
25 and 30
7.8, 25, 8.3, 30. But apart from look at the seasons, that is
Very
not
dry.
peak Kagiso Rabada. That's
True,
why.
true.
So, Katsia slightly better, but yes, too small a sample size.
I think in case of Rabada, what also goes in his favour is the recency bias. He has played more cricket than Gerald Koji.
See, I think
that's
had
also
that
a factor.
injury, I think, which ruled him out. I think it was
Champions
a
Trophy,
fracture, I think,
Yeah,
which ruled him
yeah.
out. So, yeah. I'm backing MI, so who are you backing?
GT.
GT.
So
So,
We
it's
got 2 for GT, 2 for MI.
2 for, it's a split.
Shivam, how about you?
MI, obviously.
MI. So 3-2 in the Sports Play
MI,
studio.
okay.
Yeah, because for one factor, I know that he likes.
No, but both guys are together.
Yeah,
Hardik Pandya and Surya Kumar Yadav.
exactly. See,
Surya will fire today.
yeah, he should. I mean, he's getting the flattest
Yeah,
conditions.
for the sake of I would say the Indian cricket fan inside every one of us.
Yeah,
I
he
think you
should
want to
fire.
see Surya Kumar Yadav score runs.
yeah.
He's averaging below 20, I think, in international T20 international.
It's been a very lean patch
Yeah,
for him too.
he's gone through a very bad phase over the last 6-8 months.
So it is almost a split house when you look at it. Who's going to be? So that indicates it'll be a very close game, MIGT, when you look at it. So let's take some comments before we come back for the post-match, the pre-match toss when that is happening. Okay. Okay. Vishal Panchal from the US is saying, I thought today's dugout was Roko test future, but then Vishal Panchal, the meeting got postponed. So that is why we had to make this last minute change. The BCCI gave out a thing that yes, the meeting's been deferred. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen on 30th. Until further notice, we'll have to wait. So only once that happens, we will then
Expected
do that.
to happen somewhere on Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, so we'll be doing a dugout based on it, but we haven't cancelled that dugout topic. It is still there. We want the relevant time at that.
Yeah.
Danush is saying, Dhoni retires IPL after Rohit Virat retires. Heard Rohit will play England Test Series. Captain Rohit Virat don't deserve to play Test's last bad 2 series. That's a different debate altogether, Danush, when we get there. Dhoni's retirement, it's never in sight We don't know when it will happen. It could happen in 2027. It could happen mid of 2025. It could happen in 2026. We do not know at this stage. With MS Dhoni, we really don't know. So Mohit has a very sarcastic comment that Vijay Shankar is ABD from Tamil Nadu. No, he isn't.
Navneet is saying that CSK will finish in top 2. Mark my words.
Okay.
I had said that they will be in the top 4, but I didn't put them. I thought Mumbai will be in the top 2. So CSK will huff and puff their way into either 3rd or 4th position in that sense. So yeah, Navneet, it could happen, but we'll remember that. We'll have to take this clip and say, yes, Navneet, you are right. 6,495 days to defeat CSK. Yes, it's been nearly 6,500 days since RCB had beaten
Goes
them.
on to show CSK's dominance
Yeah.
against RCB.
Against RCB. I mean, no other... I think only Mumbai had that dominance against KKR.
Yeah, correct.
Only MI had the dominance against KKR, but KKR are striking back in a big way. So that's why that is there. But Navneet is also saying RCB will be destroyed on 3rd. But RCB are taking on GT on 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, in Chinnaswamy. Yeah, they have a break now for 5 days, and then you're taking on GT. If
First game at Chinnaswamy this season.
Yep. So in that sense,
I think let's take Priyanshu's comment.
Yeah.
Till when Dhoni plays, it's his call. Where CSK made mistake was to not make any other hero. RCB did the right thing. Since yesterday, I've seen most Patidar related videos on social media.
look, you can create heroes. It's up to the broadcasters, it's up to the stakeholders. If you put your mind in the right place, you can create heroes. I mean, in 2008, look at it. Didn't a Swapnil Asnodkar take the show? Didn't he steal the show with
In
his brilliant knock?
2009, there was a Kamran Khan.
There was a Manish Pandey,
Yeah.
who is one of the only 4 guys in the history of the IPL to be still playing.
I'll say one thing. I think we should all be a little patient before we pass any judgments on any player or any succession, because I think bottom line is success. Nothing succeeds like success.
Good point.
So
180 degrees, it could happen by the end of.
I'm telling you, the narrative around Shubman Gill could change if
GT don't
GT
have
had
a
to finish bottom once again. The narrative around Patidar, it won't take a lot of time before it changes as well. So let's be a little patient on that front.
See,
Reels and all, I don't see a lot into whatever edits are being done, because
absolutely.
everyone, these days, every player is surrounded by 3 to 4 social media guys from all teams. They're being hounded by these guys much more than the press would at one point.
Yeah, it is true. You're true. Vaibhav Taragi, I think he's got the comment of the day. Ashwin before Dhoni is like a dentist doing heart transplant surgery. But yeah, Ashwin in the 2 games that he's played in, very underwhelming. He's not 10 years. He's come back home.
I was actually looking forward to Ravichandran Ashwin quite a lot, and I had a lot of expectation, and still have a lot of expectation from him, for the simple reason, the time that he made his retirement announcement, there's something that he said over there. He didn't speak a lot, but the one thing that he said is that I still have more to give to the game. When an Ashwin says that was a hurt Ashwin over there. We know that when he's not playing for India or wasn't playing for India, even then he'd be playing for the TNPL and he'd be involved in some cricketing activity or the other. He would have been licking his lips to get onto the IPL and make a point to the selectors, to everyone, and show how good he can be. I just hope he comes good going forward.
He will. See, I think we will have plenty to look forward to even in the 2025-26 Ranji season. Who knows? He could turn up for Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, absolutely. It's possible.
It is possible. So, I think we have touched upon all the topics. Are there any more comments? There was a comment addressed to me, but I'll take that later.
Okay, Cricket Highlights has a comment that if a captain does not have the authority to ask his batter where he's going to bat himself, and he himself decides it, at what point he is going to bat, CSK is probably just using Ruturaj Gaikwad for toss.
Well, we really don't know at this point in time. So, I don't know. As I've said, there are a lot of theories. Is MS Dhoni controlling the team? Is he there? We don't have an inside view about it. So, let's see. Pawan Holla is saying another 250 plus loading today has both teams bowling is not very impressive looking at the current form. Mumbai Indians' best chance would be chasing the total. Yeah, I think their batting style is more equipped to chasing. rather than setting up a total. If you look at it, Mumbai Indians have preferred chasing in the past. So let's see how that goes about. So yes, we are 1 hour away from the MI versus GT encounter that's going to happen. Okay, Abhishek Rawat. So, sir, when will chess freestyle start in April and which month esports World Cup is? See, freestyle chess in Paris is going to start around mid-April. Okay. Then the esports World Cup also I think could happen around June, July. So those are the things which you're looking forward to, but then it's happening right in the middle of the IPL. So yeah, it will be very, very tough. But we'll be bringing you all the updates on sports today. But now we'll take your leave. We'll be back after 1 hour for the GT versus MI game at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. Toss mid-innings, but we'll be doing a lengthy post-match show for this. Can Mumbai Indians get off the mark or will GT pile on the pin? Join us in 1 hour to find out. So from me, Harshit, Shashwat and Sid Gulati, it is bye-bye, Nandri, and we'll be back for the toss.